What's up, everyone? Criddle here, and I want to go over the Great Sword in Monster Hunter Wilds. I've been messing around with it for a little bit, and I want to go over some of the basics and maybe a little bit of the more advanced stuff. We're going to be doing this with the training dummy here at the very beginning of the game because it's the only training dummy that is in the game. So unfortunately, we can't just go in from the training dummy directly into show you some monster fighting. It's kind of hard to do all that. So I will just kind of go over how some of these abilities work and what the best way to play this weapon is. So first and foremost, you can ready the weapon in two different ways. The first one, right there on your screen, is to hit triangle. That just pulls your weapon out and prepares you ready to fight. The other way you can do it is by hitting the R2. So you can see up in the top right corner, it kind of gives you how to use some of those abilities. If you hit R2, it puts you directly into the guard stance, which you can see up there. And that allows you to do two different things. You can kick while you're guarding, and you can evade, which then puts you right back into a guard stance. Now, I do want you to notice that while you're in that guard stance, you cannot gain stamina. So we're going to burn all our stamina down real quick so we can actually show it here on the screen. So the stamina is going up. You go into guard, and it doesn't go down. You dodge, and it doesn't go down. Now, if you were to kick while guarding, so you're guarding and you hit kick, it will regen a little bit of your stamina while you kick, but not a whole lot. So you're better off probably just letting go and just walking around for a minute. But do note that when you have your weapon out, you do move quite a bit slower and you dodge quite a bit slower. So when you're using this weapon, if you need to move around, you need mobility, your best bet is to hit square and sheath the weapon, because you're going to be moving this fast with it out, and then you can sheath the weapon and you can move a good bit faster. So that's pretty much how that works. In the guard mode, this is one of two weapons that has both the guard and the offset attacks. We're going to go over both of those, but we're going to go guard mode first. Guard allows you to do what is called a power clash in this game. So if you're guarding and an enemy comes at you, you can get into a power clash with that enemy. If you win the power clash, it can stagger or stun or knock down the enemy, opening them up to further attacks by you and your team. So it's a very good defensive ability. So you want to make sure that you are using that properly. Note that you cannot move around while you're guarding. You can only dodge. So you need to be in the right position if you're going to be using the guard ability with this character. The next thing is going to be the offset. So if you look up in the top right corner, yet again, it says offset rising slash. That is the offset ability of this particular weapon. And you got to be very careful here, though, because if you hit just triangle and circle at the same time, you will do a rising slash, but watch what happens. You do the rising slash, it does very little damage, and there's a huge recovery time there. The damage that it does is only about 39, I think, with this particular weapon, 31 with this particular weapon. So rising slash is not what you want to be doing. What you actually want to do is the offset rising slash, which means you have to hold down triangle and circle at the same time, and right before an enemy is about to hit you, you release that the triangle and circle to do the rising offset slash, or the offset rising slash. The longer you hold it down, the more damage you'll do. So we're going to pull our weapon out. You'll hold it down for 1 second, and you can see we did 79 damage there. If we hold it down for 1, 2, 3 seconds, we can do 126 damage. So it's about 50 more damage if you hold it down for 3 seconds. Now, let's say you hold it down for 3 seconds, and then you don't release it, it will automatically go off. Well, that was a charge slash, that was not the offset. It will automatically go off for you. So we're going to hit 1, 2, 3. We're not going to release it, and it still goes off automatically for you. So you only have about a 3-second window when an enemy is coming at you and they're about to slash you to get that charge up and release it right as they're about to hit you. That will knock the enemy down and open them up for further attacks. So those are the main defensive things, capabilities on the Greatsword. Next up, we're going to talk about the offensive capabilities, and your bread and butter of this particular weapon is going to be your charge attack. You notice that you have the charge attack with the offset rising slash, but you also have the charge attack with just your normal weapon attack. So I'm going to go over how to do each of those. So the first thing is you can just tap the button if you want to, and you can do a overhead slash. That is this right here. So that's going to be the overhead slash. You can then follow that up with a charge or a strong charge attack. So we're going to do overhead slash, hit it again. That's the strong charge slash, and then hit it again for the true charge slash. And that one's going to do about 140 damage if you don't charge it at all. But if you want to, you can start that off with a charge slash, and you're going to do the same thing that you did previously with the rising slash that we were talking, the offset rising slash. However, there's something I need you to note about this, is that if you hold down the button and you get 1, 2, 3, you want to release on that third charge. And you see I did 134 damage. If I don't release on that third charge, it does significantly less damage, but it automatically goes off. So it's going to do 108 damage. The 108 damage is like charging it up twice. So if you hold it down for 1, 2 seconds, and then you release, that's the 108 damage. If you hold it down for 1 second, oops, that's the strong charge. Let's ignore that. If you hold it down for just 1 second, you'll do a little bit more damage. And if you don't hold it down at all, you'll do the least amount of damage. So that's basically how the charge slash works. Make sure that you're releasing it on that third charge. And so you can see that they go, basically your character glows like a white, and then kind of like a yellow, and then red, and that's when you want to release it. And you get the most damage out of it. Now, why would you want to do a full charge versus the faster ones? And that's going to be dependent on the creature that you're fighting. If it's a slow moving creature, you might be able to get those charges off. If it is a fast moving creature, you're probably just going to want to tap it and just get the damage that you can in there and try to build up to the next charge, since all of these will allow you to continue to build from the regular charge to the strong to the true charge slash. So we'll show you real quick, like this is if you can knock the enemy down. You can try to do 2 combos, right? You could try to just do, 1, 2, 3. So that would be 65 plus 90 plus the true charge without actually charging it. And you can see it does 140. So the damage is it's not going to be significantly higher by charging it. However, to try to get 3 of those off in a row is much more difficult than charging it for 3 seconds between each one, which might be what you want to do to just get a little bit of extra damage in there. The next thing I want to note on the charging attacks is if, let's say you get to that third one, right? We're going to get to the third true charge, and you can see here, 1, 2, boom. Oh, I didn't do it right there. See, I did 140 damage, and you don't see like a lightning bolt with that. But let me show you again. So we do 1, and we do another one, and then we get to the 1, 2, 3, and boom, 13 damage plus 169. And see that lightning bolt come down? That shows that you did the full power of that true charge attack, which is going to do the most amount of damage and sever damage and things like that. If you're trying to cut off tails or break parts on an enemy, that is a lot of damage to them, and it really helps out. So that's how the charge attack works. You just want to make sure to reiterate. You can, if you want to do it quickly, you can just tap the button really fast and get all 3 of those attacks in very quickly, or as quickly as you possibly can, and still do a decent amount of damage if the enemy is going to move. If you think they're going to stay in that position for a while and are not going to attack you, then you're going to want to charge those up as much as you can and release it on that third charge. So boom, 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 and then last one, boom, boom, boom. And it just takes a little while to get that down, but once you get it, it's really not that bad. So it does a significantly more damage if you can charge that up. So if you can do that, then do that. Next up, though, I want to talk about evading and your wide slash. So you do have another ability that you can do, which is wide slash, and that's what wide slash looks like. It's just a normal hit that you can just kind of do for some extra damage, but it does 35 damage. Why would you want to use wide slash if just doing your charge attack, which is this one right here, is going to do 65 damage versus that, which does 35 damage, right? So you probably wouldn't want to use that. However, there's a reason that you might want to use that. The reason is because if you go wide slash and you follow it up with a tackle, you can immediately go into a charge slash, and it kind of allows you to get a little bit of extra movement in there. You can do the same thing with your evade, so you can evade and then pull the weapon out first. You can evade and then tackle. If I can do it fast enough, you evade and then tackle. Oh my gosh, it's not doing it. Evade, tackle, and then you can go into the strong slash, right? And then you could go into the true charge slash right after that. So what I like about that is, let's say you are coming up to the enemy. You don't want to have to like trot over to the enemy, right? It's already on the ground. Let's say it just fell on the ground where the barrel is, and you're way over here, and you have your weapon out. You got to trot over there, or you got to put your weapon away. You got to try to run up to it. Then you got to do this. Then you got to start hitting it to try to get into that combo. Well, that's what allows you to kind of close that gap a little bit. If it drops in front of you, you can have your weapon out. You can do a whoops, I hit the wrong button. You can do a wide slash, tackle, and it gets you a little bit closer right into that strong slash, strong charge slash. Or if you want to, let's say you're, farther away, you can do a evade. It's evade into a tackle, which is a different button combination, and I always mess that up. So you can evade into a tackle, into a strong slash, and then boom, and then you can go straight into a true charge slash, right? So, well, I didn't time that perfectly, but, it takes a little bit of practice. So that's why you may want to use those. So you may want to go in from a wide slash into a tackle and then into a strong slash to kind of close that gap. I think evade is probably the better one to do. So you would have your weapon out. You're going to evade and then tackle. My goodness, you have to hit those buttons pretty fast. So evade and then tackle, and then go into your strong charge slash. The last thing that we're going to talk about is another combo with your wide slash. So you can do wide slash, and then you could do tackle right after that. So you would do wide slash, tackle, and then leaping slash, and then you could do side blow, okay? And then go into your tackle after that. So if you want to close the gap, but you want to kind of attack all the way through, you can do that as well. So you would go wide slash. Let me hit the right buttons here. You're going to basically just hit circle, circle, circle. So it's going to be wide slash, tackle, leaping slash, triangle for the side blow, and then you can go directly into that strong charge slash if you wanted to. So that would close the gap as well. So you wide slash, tackle, leaping slash, side blow, and then strong, right? And then one, it didn't save it for me there to do the true, because I didn't hit the button combination properly. But that is pretty much how you play this particular weapon. It's really one of the more simple weapons in the game, because you're really going to be just doing this charge slash as much as you can. This right here is really your bread and butter, and you can just do massive amounts of damage when the enemy gets knocked down. But if you're not careful with this weapon, you can't really do a whole lot of damage while it's running around, as opposed to some of the faster weapons, because it does swing quite a bit slower. But it does quite a bit more damage if you can hit properly. Anyway, hopefully that goes over some of the basics on how to play with the Great Sword. We're going to do some other reviews, or not reviews, but other tutorials on how to use some of the other weapons. So definitely check those out. Please like, subscribe, follow, all that kind of stuff if you found this video useful. And come over to Twitch, where I will be streaming this game all week, playing all the various different weapons, and then when it releases on February 28th, we'll be playing it a lot more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!